Welcome to Python tutorial on sets. Today our learning objective is to develop a program for manipulating sets in Python. Now, sets is a collection data type in Python. Essential question that you will keep seeking during while we're gonna work on different programs and while we're gonna code with different methods. You're gonna think about why is it important to choose the right data type. You should have learned list and tuples before you start working with sets. If you haven't done list and tuple collection data types, just go through the tutorial of list and tuple so that you can understand what's the difference between them, and then move on to sets collection data type and learn this tutorial. You're going to create the program, then you're going to run and debug the program and answer the essential question and try to understand the purpose of different data types. Do now is look at this picture and think what comes to your mind. Recall the different properties of sets in mathematics and comment in Google Classroom what comes to your mind. Whatever the set property comes to your mind or whatever you want to talk about, like whatever you know about maths, set, let's discuss that thing. Take a pause here for 2 minutes and then write down in your comments at least one property about sets in maths. We have already discussed lists and tuples. In lists and tuples and even sets and dictionaries, all of them have some differences and some similarities. For example, all the four in all the four different collection data types, we can give values of different data types. Like they can have different items from different data types. List and tuples are ordered. Sets and dictionaries are not unordered. List and tuples are indexed. Sets are not are unindexed. It means that you cannot recall them item by item name because they don't have an index. Dictionaries are again indexed. List tuples can have duplicates. Sets and dictionaries cannot have duplicates. List and tuples, lists are changeable and dictionaries are changeable, whereas tuples are immutable. We cannot change, we cannot add, we cannot update, we can't do anything with tuples. In sets, we cannot change an existing value, but we can add more values. Let's think why it's important to choose the right collection data type. It's very important to choose the right collection data type according to your need. So if you don't want any duplicates, you should use sets. If you want index and order, you could have a choice of list and tuple, but then you have to think if you want your user to only access the items in it, or you want them to manipulate or add more items in it. So if you want to give an access to the user so that they can change the values, use list. So different data types have different properties, and according to those properties, you should use a different aspect. You should define your data, and it actually choosing the right collection data types help to optimize the runtime. And when you optimize the runtime, it means you of course optimize your efficiency, and this also helps to increase the security depending upon the cases where you allow changing the data or where you don't allow changing the data depending upon the situation that you want. Let's do the programming. Let's start programming. Focus skills today will be first of all creating a set. So the first thing that we're going to do is creating a set. To define a set, I'm using a variable named set1, and sets are defined with parentheses. So I'm defining 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say I'm also writing some string data type. I'm writing 1. Okay. And so you can see I'm defining different data types in the same set, and we'll run it to see if it gives an error or not. Parenthesis closed and my set one is defined. Now, when I say that our sets are not ordered, unordered, and these are unindexed, it means we cannot access each item from here because there is no index there. So it means if we have to access an item, the only way that we can run is for x in set1 using this control structure, loop control structure. Don't forget colon in the end, and then you can print x. When you print x and run, it will print all the values. And you can see I have placed 1 at the first place, but no, I have entered 1, then 2, then 3, 4, but these are all mixed up. If I run it one more time, you can see that order is again changed. The reason is the same, that sets are unordered and unindexed. Okay. The other method to print a set is you can just write on print and then set1. In this case, it will not show the items, it will just show the full set as it is. Okay. um, Beside this for loop, we can find out if a certain item exists in the set or not, using if conditional structure. So if I say if 4 is in set 1, print I found it. Okay. And if it's not there, then we will enter add. So I'm saying else, if the item that I'm looking for doesn't exist there, I will add it. As it's written, sets are unchangeable. Unchangeable means we cannot change the existing value in the set one, but we can always add a new value. So I'm doing set one dot add, and I'm writing if 4 is not there, add 4, and then I'm printing my set one again. Okay. Look at the program closely. This was to just print all the items in X. I can just delete it because I don't need it anymore. Let's check if 4 in set 1, then print I found it. Otherwise, add 4 in set 1 and then print it. Let's run it. Let's check the answer. So it's saying I found it. So if it's saying 4 exists, it said I found it and else part won't run. Let's change the value here and find out if 5 is here or not. And we know that 5 is not here. So you can see it's not saying I found it, but it's actually, oh, we have to add 5 in it. Let's run it again. And then you can see in existing set 5 is not there, and when I'm searching, it should add. So you can see it's written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is being placed there. That is add. We can, if we want to add more than one value, you can use update. You can use update method also. Update is for adding more than one value. So I'm saying set1 dot update. I'm gonna show you just a rough try, but of course it's gonna give you an error. I'm telling you ahead that I'm writing 6, 7, and 8, and it will give us an error. Let's check it out why. So you can see it's giving is not iterable and saying set1.f dot update is having a type error. Why? Update is actually a specific method which actually joins the two sets together. So if you have to add using update, you should either use parenthesis a square bracket, so that it, because it's a set of items, only then it won't show you an error. And now you can see it's running without an error and it's putting the values in it. There's one more thing in sets. We said sets are have no duplicates. Let's try if I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can see it's already having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's run it and see if the duplicates would remain there or not. So you can see 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no duplicates. So if there is a duplicate value, it will automatically remove that duplicate value. Okay, having said that, we have learned how to access an item, how to add using add and update. Let's check how to remove an item now. Removing an item, we have three different methods that we can use. The first method that we can use is remove method. Okay. Uh, Up to adding, you should pause the video, try those add and update method, and only after that you should start working on removing item. Let's remove an item once you're done. Set1 dot remove. So when I say remove, I have to specify which item I want to remove. So for example, if I want to remove 4, so when I'll run and then I will check my set 1, it should have no 4. Let's check it out. And you can see 4 is being removed from the set. What happens if I'm looking for an item which is already being removed? So let's say I'm looking for 5. I want my method to remove 5 from here, and 5 is doesn't exist here. Then if I'll run, it will show me an error. It's giving me a key error 5 because 5 doesn't exist there. To avoid this type of error, you can actually use discard. So actually, so for example, if you're passing the values in which user can have any value, enter any value, and there is no limit, it's not like a checkbox or combo box from where you're giving the value, then you should use discard method. In discard method, if 5 doesn't exist, it won't give you any error. It will just try to find 5. If there is no 5, it won't remove it. However, if you're trying to find a number that is already in the set, then it would remove it. 4 is being removed. Okay, there is another method that we can use to remove. That method is called pop. The difference between this, I've already told you, set one dot remove method can give you error if you're trying to remove a number that doesn't exist. Discard won't give you an error if you try to remove a number which doesn't exist. Pop only removes the last item from the set. Now which one is would be the last item, we don't know, because sets are not ordered and sets are unindexed. So we don't know. This time it removed 1. You can see 4 is already being removed, then 1. So every time when you will run with pop method, it can remove any different value. It's not necessary that it would remove the same value. Okay. So we don't know what value is being placed in the last, and that could be a problem because we actually don't know which item is in the last. Okay. Mm, uh, Next, clear and del method. Clear method and del keyword. Clear will clear all the things, for all the items from the set. It's simple. You have to write on set one dot clear, and it will clear all the values from the set. And you can see the set is empty. However, del is will completely delete the set one. Now what will happen if I'll run now? It will give an error because set one is being deleted here, and it will give you an error that name set one is not defined because it's already been deleted. So you cannot print set one here. Okay. Clear and dull method then comes joining the two sets. Join the two set. If you have done your list and tuple before, you must be knowing that set you can join the two list, you can join the two tuples only by using plus operator. Okay. So for example, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So let's say I'm trying to join these two sets. Can we use the plus operator as we were using for list and tuple? No. If we use the plus operator, it would give an error that it is unsupported operand type. Okay, for sets. Instead of this, we have to use a function, a method, set one, either union or either update. Okay, update is the same method that I've told you how to add items also. There's a little difference between set one and union and update. Update will, you just need to cite set one dot update, and then with what you have to update set 2. So all the values in set 2 would be placed in set 1. However, the duplicates would be deleted. Now I'm going to trying to print set 1 only because set 2 should already be there. So you can see set 1 now contains all the value of set 1 and set 2 together. The other method, however, is called union, and in union method, so for example, if I remove this one and I put a union method here, expectation is that it should place all the values of set 2 and unite it in set 1, but as you can see, it's just showing me the set 1 values, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not showing the union value. It is important that if you're using a union method, you must define another variable or the same variable and make it an equal to sign so that you can say all these two sets should be united and then put them in a new set, okay, or in an existing set. Now if I print set 3, it will be the set which will be having set 1 and set 2 values. Remember one thing, in union and update, both of the methods, whenever we will join the two sets, duplicates would be removed. Okay, and that's all for today. If I have to say something, we have different methods like length. So we can measure the length of the set using len function. Let's run it. So our len function, it's showing we have 13 items in it. You can also use a copy method. So for example, if there's a set 4 and you want to say that copy set1 dot copy, okay, and then print set 4. So set 4 will be just a copy of set 1. You can see that. Okay. That's all for the day. Think about what are what is the benefit, what is the importance of choosing the right collection of data type. That is your essential question also. So just do it. There is one more thing, you can use set constructor, but that's not important. I'll just let you know how to. Using a set constructor means that whatever you're defining, you'll just have to write it down like this, and then write on all the values in here. So for example, I'm printing set 5 and I write on something 2, 4, 6, 8, just to make it a little different. Let's run it and print it and see how does set 5 looks like. So you can see print this set 5, we're not using curly brackets. That is one method to, this is same for everything. Set 5 is called constructor operator. So set 5 is constructor. Same way you can write on here set 5. Here you can see it's not defined as a set. It's just written as a within the brackets. So if you have to define it with set, you have to write on here set. Okay, now you can say it is being defined as 2486 as a set. Same thing, if instead of set you want to define it as a list, you can write on list constructor. If instead of list you want to define it as a and now for list you can see it's square bracket. If you want instead of list you want to define it as a tuple, you can use the tuple constructor. So being using a constructor means only two parentheses, one inside another, to define, to use the constructor properly. Good luck.